Hi there. It's March the 13th, and we're continuing our track through Torah and in the book of Numbers. Today we're looking at chapters 19 and 20. Chapter 19 is a fairly self-contained chapter which really deals with the process of cleansing people who have had contact with the dead through a fairly elaborate concoction of ashes of a sacrificed animal mixed in water, which has to be sprinkled and has to be used in order to consecrate someone who's had contact with the dead. However, we move on to chapter 20. The narrative part resumes, and here in chapter 20 several things happen. First of all, the people have one of their many complaint sessions against Moses, this time because they move to a place where there's no water. They come to Kadesh and there doesn't seem to be any water there. And they complain that they should have died. If only they died with all the others who have died. They're going to be written off anyway in this generation. Moses and Aaron go before the Lord God, and the Lord's glory appears. He comes in his full weight and his full gravity, and he instructs Moses to speak to a rock and to call water forth. Now Moses takes the rod that he would have used, and instead of just speaking to the rock, he strikes the rock. But he also says, do we have to fetch water out of this rock for you? It's quite a hard fact, but the fact is that because Moses has not fully obeyed God, Moses is actually drawn to himself and to Aaron somehow the authority of providing this water when he says, must we fetch water for you? And because he thereby has not fully honoured God, God withdraws his and Aaron's right to enter into the promised land. There then comes an event where they are closing in towards a territory that belongs to Edom. Edom is the word for Esau, another word for Esau, and Edom is Esau's descendants, the brother of Jacob, Israel. And so the Israelites Moses asked if they can pass through the territory of Edom. They ask the king of Edom, and Edom refuses them passage. And this is actually going to have repercussions into the future of Israel and their relationship with Edom. But they don't try and go through Edom, they bypass it and go round it. And then at the end of the chapter, end of chapter 20, Aaron comes to the end of his life, and God actually instructs Moses to take Aaron up the mountain with his son Eleazar, and Eleazar takes on the robes of the high priest from Aaron. It transfers on to his son, and Aaron dies and is buried. And so we come to the end of an era with the death of Aaron and the transfer on of the priesthood to the next generation. God is faithful and calls on us to be faithful to his promises. Sometimes we presume that our ways are the best ways, but in this chapter we see that God's ways are the best ways, and God's faithfulness calls us to be faithful to his word as well. Have a good March the 13th.